What if I told you the tin sitting in your cupboard right now was recalled for bacterial contamination in the past? And what if the olive oil drowning your sardines isn't real olive oil at all? Here's what nobody's telling you. Since Brexit, the UK's mercury limits for fish are now 67% higher than the EU's. For over 3 years, Britain conducted virtually zero safety checks on food imports, and 60% of your tinned sardines come from Morocco, where production has collapsed, leaving factories scrambling to fill tins with whatever they can get. So today, we have 4 sardine brands you must avoid, and 2 that are actually safe to eat. Watch until the end, because that tin you thought was protecting your heart might be doing the exact opposite. Number 4. John West. This is the household name, the brand your nan bought, the tin that dominates every supermarket shelf from Tesco to Waitrose. John West sells more sardines in Britain than anyone else, and they've been recalled twice since 2020 for bacterial contamination. In February 2020, the Food Standards Agency pulled John West sardines in tomato sauce from Asda shelves. The reason? Suspected bacterial contamination causing swollen cans. Batch codes KX319H and KX326H were yanked, but not before shoppers had already taken them home. Then it happened again. July 2022, another FSA alert. This time, John West boneless sardines in sunflower oil and sardines in olive oil were recalled from Morrison's, Waitrose, Tesco, Ocado, Amazon, Co-op and 6 other retailers. Batch codes 109 through 113 were flagged for possible microbiological contamination. The company admitted contamination occurred after the production process. 2 recalls in 2 years, same brand, different products, and here's what makes it worse. John West is owned by Thai Union, a Thai seafood giant that was exposed in 2015 by the Associated Press and New York Times for forced labor and slavery in its supply chain. Thai Union terminated relationships with 17 suppliers due to human trafficking violations. Their workforce? Vulnerable migrants from Myanmar and Cambodia trapped on boats, processing the fish that ends up in British supermarkets. That same year, Greenpeace investigated John West's sustainability claims and called them deeply misleading and plainly false. The company had promised 100% traceability through their Can Tracker website. But when Greenpeace tested it, Thai processed products required customers to email for trace details. John West dismissed this as simply a website limitation. By 2016, only 2% of John West fish was caught using sustainable methods. 2%, down from their promised 100%. John West's scandals made headlines, but the next entry hides its danger in plain sight, printed right there on the nutrition label. Number 3. High-sodium tomato sauce varieties. You grab the tomato sauce sardines because they taste better. More flavour, feels like a proper meal on toast. But that tangy sauce is hiding something the front label won't tell you. Prince's sardine and tomato paste contains 1.15 grams of salt per 100 grams. That's the highest of any major sardine brand in Britain. One single tin delivers 17% of your entire daily sodium limit. Eat 2 tins and you've consumed over 1/3 of the maximum salt the NHS says you should have in an entire day. Here's why that matters. The average British adult already consumes 40% more salt than recommended. 28% of UK adults have high blood pressure. And the British Heart Foundation reports that excess sodium contributes to approximately half of all heart attacks and strokes in this country. If you're over 60, if you're already on blood pressure medication, if you're taking ACE inhibitors or diuretics, that tomato sauce tin isn't comfort food. It's a cardiovascular gamble. And the sodium isn't the only problem. Sardines in tomato sauce also contain added sugars, so you're getting a double hit. Salt driving up your blood pressure, sugar messing with your blood glucose, all disguised as a healthy protein choice. The fix? Flip the tin. Check the salt content per 100 grams. Anything over 1 gram should raise questions. Sardines in spring water or plain olive oil typically contain half the sodium. Same protein, same omega-3s, without the hidden payload. High sodium is a slow killer, but the next entry might not give you any warning at all. Number 2. Discount store mystery imports. Poundland, B&M, home bargains. You see sardines for 60 pence and think you've found a bargain. But have you checked where they actually come from? Some discount store sardines, like BTM pilchards in tomato sauce, are products of China. No MSC certification, no traceability. No way to verify how they were caught, processed or stored before reaching that shelf. A University of Nottingham study found that over 50% of fish in UK supermarkets contained DNA from Salmonella species. Even more alarming, all fish farmed in China tested positive for antibiotic residues. Antibiotics that are banned or restricted in British food production. The problem isn't that cheap sardines are automatically bad. The problem is that without certification, without traceability, you have no idea what you're eating. Professor Tim Lang of City University warns that food safety depends on trust in systems that protect us from harm. 5 years from Brexit, he says, we see not fewer problems, but persistence of problems. We've put up borders, but haven't invested in the inspection. So when you pick up an unbranded tin with faded labels and no clear origin, you're trusting a system that hasn't been checking. That's not a bargain. That's a blind bet with your gut. The fix? Only buy sardines with clear lot codes, best before dates, and either MSC certification or a verifiable country of origin. If you can't trace it, don't eat it. The 60 pence you save isn't worth the risk. Untraceable imports are dangerous, but the final entry on our avoid list affects nearly every sardine you can buy, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. Number 1. Morocco-sourced sardines. During the supply crisis, 60% of Britain's tinned sardines come from Morocco, and Morocco's sardine industry has collapsed. Production in southern Moroccan ports fell by up to 60% in 2024. Climate change has pushed fish beyond the reach of the traditional fleet. A major British importer told The Grocer magazine that Moroccan sardine supply is now non-existent. What happens when factories have orders to fill, but no fish to fill them with? They cut corners. They source from wherever they can. Quality control becomes optional when survival is the priority. Industry sources report sardine prices have already increased by approximately 25%. All major UK retailers face shortage risks and shelf gaps. And when supply crashes but demand stays constant, you don't get empty shelves, you get lower standards dressed up in the same familiar packaging. This isn't speculation. FSA surveillance already classifies sardines among fish species showing the highest contamination levels for PCBs, dioxins, and persistent organic pollutants. Fish from southern UK and northern French coasts consistently show elevated contaminant concentrations. Now add desperate suppliers rushing product to market, and the risks multiply. Spanish research on supermarket sardines found nearly 6% contained Anisakis parasite larvae. The canning process kills the parasites, but dead parasites can still trigger severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. When quality control slips, those numbers climb. Safe alternatives exist at every price point, and one of them costs just 75 pence. Safe pick number 1. Alva Sardines. Here's what the sardine industry doesn't want you to know. The 75 pence tin might be better than the £6 premium brand. Alva Sardines, available at Tesco, were independently tested by Which magazine. The results? An exceptional 3,570 milligrams of omega-3 per 100 grams. That's the second highest of any sardine brand tested, higher than most premium options costing 5 times as much. You don't need to spend more to eat better. You need to read the labels and ignore the marketing. Alva proves that budget doesn't mean bad quality. At 75 pence per tin, you're getting more heart-healthy omega-3s than shoppers paying boutique prices. Same protein, same calcium if you eat the bones, without the premium markup designed to make you feel healthier than you actually are. The fix for budget shoppers? Grab Alva in spring water. Add your own verified extra virgin olive oil if you want that Mediterranean taste. You'll get better nutrition than most expensive brands at 1/10 of the price. But if you want the absolute gold standard, there's one more option. And yes, it's worth the premium. Safe pick number 2. Fish Forever and Pilchard Works. If you want sardines you can trust completely, these are the names to remember. Fish Forever tested highest of any brand for omega-3 content, with an exceptional 4,200 milligrams per 100 grams. They carry full MSC certification. Organic options are available, and they're transparent about sourcing in ways that John West only pretends to be. Then there's Pilchard Works, and this one matters for a different reason. These are the only sardines caught and canned in Britain. They come from the Cornish fishery, the sole MSC-certified sardine source in Europe. The fish swim in British waters, are landed in British ports, and processed in British facilities. Tom Parker Bowles has endorsed them. They're available in Waitrose and online. Why does UK caught matter? Because here's an embarrassing truth. You can buy MSC-certified Cornish sardines in discount retailers in Belgium, but British supermarkets have historically refused to stock UK caught sardines in their own brand ranges. They'd rather import from Morocco than support British fishermen. Tesco recently changed that with their finest Cornish sardines, which won MSC Product of the Year. But it shouldn't have taken this long. The fix for premium shoppers? Fish Forever from Ocado or health food shops. Pilchard Works from Waitrose, or Tesco Finest Cornish if you want to support British fishing. You'll pay between £2 and £4, but you'll know exactly where your fish came from and who caught it. Which one surprised you most? Drop your worst sardine experience in the comments. And if you want to see which supermarket butter brands are hiding dangerous ingredients behind those friendly farmhouse labels, click the video on screen. Thanks for watching.